Hi, I'm Lisa Cummings from Lead Through Strengths, and what I have for you today is a habit builder. An easy way to make small changes so that it doesn't feel like you have a bunch of extra things to do in order to make progress in this direction. So I've come up with this habit builder as a way to give you 3 words. Once you can come up with 3 words that represent your strength, it really requires no extra work. Literally, the work takes 1 to 2 seconds. The activity is this. You come up with 3 words that represent how you want to show up in the room, how you want to show up for that customer conversation, how you want to show up in the next meeting so that you can build a reputation for what you look like when you're operating at your best. Because if you're not consciously resetting your mind, you know what happens. You have to reply to 200 emails that day. You're busy. You've just sent a bunch of emails. You've just been in back-to-back meetings. Now you have this other call booked and you have to run to the thing and you're just feeling rushed and transactional. Maybe you're even having a grumpy bad day. Those are the moments when you're not naturally going to show up at your best. So if you have these 3 words at the ready and you've built a habit around resetting yourself before the call, before the conversation, so you can remember those things that come easily to you, that easily allow you to show up the best you can be in that moment. So let me give you an example. I have a customer who made an acronym out of his. It's TOP. What does he look like when he's operating at the top? So TOP stands for transparent, open-minded, problem solver. Pretty easy. And if you imagine showing up to the meeting going, oh, right, I feel a little bit defensive right now before I speak up on my position on this thing. Remember, I want to lead through open-mindedness. And it changes the kind of questions you answer. It changes the kind of perspective that he would bring in that meeting. I have another customer who likes to do it through alliteration. So she came up with the 3 C's. What she does is care, captivate, connect. So she's kind of giving herself a thing to do. I'm going to care, I'm going to captivate, I'm going to connect. And it's not that you're trying to do all 3 things in every moment all the time. But remember when I said earlier, it's like a mental reset. If you've been in that crazy, busy, hurried moment, and it gives you that second before you walk in the room to breathe and remember what's easy for you to do if you just take a second to have that expectation of yourself. Now, the reason I called this a habit builder is because I recommend doing this as a doorway exercise. And I call it the doorway exercise because it's cool to build a habit by asking something of yourself that is very fast every time you walk through a doorway. So imagine, when you walk to the restroom, you're walking to a doorway. When you walk into an office building, you're walking through a doorway. You walk through a lot of doorways or openings every day of your life. And if you go through those doorways and remember those 3 things, it will actually help you memorize them and embody them so they become part of you, and it becomes a natural process to keep doing these mental resets throughout the day. So that's why I call it the doorway exercise, and that's why I call it a habit builder, because before you're used to doing this, you would just forget about these unless they were posted in front of you. Another way you could keep them posted in front of you is to use an app like WordSwag or one of the design apps on your phone to make a lock screen so that when you open your phone 150 times a day, you see those 3 words and it helps you remember them and do that quick reminder to show up that way, to show up at your best. And as you can imagine, going back to that initial concept of everyone asking me how to live their best life, if you show up at your best more often, you will feel like you're living a better life. You get received better by others. And this really rides on that premise that if you'll use your strengths, they will strengthen your performance. And it doesn't just stop at work. It happens at home as well. If you use these to strengthen your communication, they will strengthen your relationships because you're showing up at that best, highest, and best version of you. For example, on my list, I have fun-loving, insightful, and energizing. Now, I'm not asking myself to be all of those things in every moment. I use it to vet the way I'm communicating. I use it to ask myself, Did I seem fun-loving or energetic at all in that email? And if I didn't, and it's not bringing that part of me, maybe it's not as compelling as it would be if I were doing this thing. And then I go back and consider rewriting it and tweaking it in a little different way. Now, those actually are, other than insightful, those are not necessarily words I would use to brand myself outwardly. In fact, when I first came up with them, I thought, this doesn't sound that business-like. It sounds more hedonist than it does like a hard-driving business professional. But if you know those things in you that bring out your best, that allow you to be approachable to others, that allow others to hear out your ideas and find you more influential, if you can tap into those, even if it's not an outward part of what you're saying about your career brand, people experience you in a way that is at your best, it helps you get better results at work. So how do you do this? Well, I recommend taking the Clifton Strengths Assessment. You can do that by just buying the book, StrengthsFinder 2.0, on Amazon or wherever you get books. The other thing is, if you don't want to do that and you don't want to use that to start getting to some of your words and you just want to get a quick start right now, on my website at leadthroughstrengths.com/adjectives, we have a bunch of words for you that you can look through and start to soak in and get inspired about some of the adjective combinations that you could put together, just so that you have a draft to start trying something on. Once you do decide to take the Clifton Strengths Assessment, we also have a page on the site, leadthroughstrengths.com/talents, and it goes through each of the 34 talent themes that could be in your potential top 5. And if you just drill into your 5, we have some personal branding adjectives that give you different ways to phrase the same sort of thing. Find the ones that really resonate with you so you can start to experiment with those and try those on. So there you have it, a way to build a habit that helps you feel like you're living out your best career and your best life. And it doesn't even require extra work on your part. No extra tasks for the day other than to have a simple 1 to 2 second thought each time you walk through a doorway. So let me know what your 3 words are after you've done the exercise. I would love to hear how you're incorporating that into your career brand. Bye for now.